And with that, I want to welcome you to the seventh episode of the Case Closed podcast. I'm your host, Professor C. I'm joined today by special guest Full Metal X 117. Welcome to the show.
Hey everyone, Full Metal X 117 here, and I'm glad to be on the show to hopefully talk about Case Closed.
Absolutely. Now, last show, I don't know if you had seen our last episode, we had discussed Case Closed Season 2, which you, by the way, have an unboxing for. Please tell us what you think about it.
Season 2, well, the first thing I do think about it is, it is named Detective Boys, after all that's what the Season 2 is called, but I felt as if most of the season, it wasn't really about the Detective Boys. It's more, unlike Season 1, this one actually is more about Jimmy, Richard, Rachel, and, well, in the last couple of episodes, Harley. Now, saying that, I do think Season 2 was a pretty good season. We got to see a lot of good twists, surprises, and there were a lot of those two-part episodes, which I really like.
And of course, the goriest, I would say, of all in Case Closed over here, at least in America anyway, the Mountain Villa Murder two-part series. I would say that is the most goriest, just most full of blood. I mean, would you agree with that statement?
Definitely. There was definitely a lot more blood in this season 2, but Japan, I don't think they worry about this too much as they do here in the U.S., which I do like, by the way.
Yes, and I think that two-part kind of shows us, maybe it establishes an attitude about what the series is going to be. It wasn't just a kids' show. It was also a show that adults could watch and kind of maybe, it could attract a more mature audience, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, ever since I first saw the series, I knew that, this series could definitely be for everyone, has something that everyone will like about it, and that's why I do think it has a huge appeal, and that's why I think it's really popular in Japan as well.
Now, there have also been issues, some of these things have been talked about. Season 2, in some discussions, has been the center of this, that Case Closed kind of doesn't fit with a certain audience because sometimes it's not mature enough, and then there's other times that it's, too immature. Do you think that maybe, even if that's the case, that if Funimation had dubbed it a different way, maybe with less language or more language, they could have established what the attitude for the series is here in America as opposed to knowing the identity of the series in Japan?
Now, out of all the animes that Funimation has dubbed, I do think Case Closed is possibly, one of their best. Now, saying that because I do think they have a pretty good balance between those. If you know Full Metal Alchemist, they actually have more cursing in that anime versus others. And I do believe, in Case Closed, they do use words like that too. And I do think they have a pretty good balance. So I think Funimation did set it up pretty well. I wouldn't really change the dub.
I agree with that, very much so. But it's always good to ask her that question and try to get opinions because I personally think the show could fit with an older audience as well as a younger audience, depending on what episodes are shown because of the Detective Boys being in the series.
Hmm.
But definitely that's a discussion and a topic that people like to discuss. Now, you have seen all of Season 2, is that correct?
Yes.
And what would you say your favorite episodes in that season would be?
There's definitely a lot. This was a very good season, I thought. But if I had to choose, I do really like Conan is kidnapped with no immunity for the diplomat being a very close second. But the reason I like Conan is kidnapped a lot more is because out of all the episodes I've seen so far in Case Closed, I think this was like one of those episodes where Jimmy was not winning the battle. He did not know how to solve the case. He was like losing the entire time. And in the end, you thought he really did lose, but then they had a nice twist at the end, which I thought was really good.
Yes, and if most people here, hopefully that have watched the show, have seen that episode, but I guess it proves that even the great Jimmy Kudo can't outwit his own father,
Yeah.
And people have made the point saying that Booker is actually a better detective than Jimmy. I have to agree with that, actually, in some parts, because there are times in the series that you see flashbacks to Booker being this great detective, but he decides to go a different way with his career, and then Jimmy grew up around crime and all that, becomes the detective instead of the mystery novelist like his father.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I thought it was a very cool, where Jimmy descended from. I really thought he has pretty good origins. His mom is a great actor, and his dad's, of course, a great author. And it's no surprise that Jimmy turned out to be a pretty good detective because he had a really good legacy to fall upon.
Now, talking about No Immunity for the Diplomat two-part series, I wanted to talk about that mostly. Near the end of season 2, we establish a new character with Harley Hartwell coming in, and obviously establishes himself as Jimmy Kudo's rival. Tell me what you think about his character and how it plays in the series.
I really do think it adds depth to the series. I think it has that thing where every series should have, and like a lot of them do have, it has a rivalry between the main character and another character. I think it'll make the series a lot more fun. It establishes two great detectives that are, in my opinion, equally good. Jimmy in that episode, Harley did make a mistake, but I think it just adds more dimension to the series, a lot more depth, and I think it'll make it a lot more fun as well.
Now for me, season 2, in my opinion, other than season 1, it's my second favorite season. I'm not saying that as every season goes, I'm going to say season 3 is my third favorite, season 4 is my fourth favorite. I'm not going to do that. But between season 1 and season 2, I watched these episodes on Adult Swim, so they're pretty special to me, and that's why I, definitely prefer seasons 1 and 2 because they are what introduced me into the series. Are there any episodes that you would say are as honorable mentions, so to speak, for people to check out right away after purchasing this DVD?
Well, a lot of episodes I do like included Richard's class reunion. I really thought that, how most of the time Jimmy is the one who controls the case. It really did show that Richard, he does have that detective fire inside of him as well, and that was interesting to watch. And also what I really liked was Murder at the Local Diner, because that was the episode where you were first introduced to Rachel's mom, which I thought was very cool as well.
Yes, because at the Murder at the Local Diner, Conan thinks that Rachel is on a date with a guy, and it turns out, I don't want to give too much away there, but it's actually pretty hilarious. I really enjoyed that one. Now, I want to move away from season 2 for a little bit. I want to talk about what the work that you have done with, speaking of season 2, unboxings for the Case Closed seasons.
Yeah, the reason I decided to do the unboxing in the first place was because I really felt like what we're doing here, I think it will work. I think Funimation is definitely paying attention to it. If more people do buy the series, I do think we could bring Case Closed back. There's already rumors coming around that Funimation has more movies licensed, which I think is really great. I think that if I do the unboxings, I will be able to show the people what they're really getting, what a great deal they're getting, and the quality Funimation gives you in such a cheap price. So I really felt like we could really help the series if I just do some unboxings.
Yes, I think it has. I think it has helped. You've done unboxings for seasons 1 through 5. Now, there have been some people asking if you would be willing to do unboxings for the movies. Can you comment or speculate on that, or if you've decided, or what's going on with that?
Yes, I have definitely considered doing unboxings for the movies as well. I have received a number of requests to do so, and the likely answer is yes, I will. Now, I really do want people to know what they're getting inside the movies as well because, again, the movies for Case Closed, unlike some other series, they're actually very good. They just make the cases a lot more better, a lot more fun. And I do want to do some reviews on those, and I do want to, make some unboxing just to show what people are getting in those as well.
By the way, I wanted to mention to our audience that in case you did not know, Funimation has Case Closed episodes 1 to 130. People have asked about where is episode 131 and beyond. Funimation has not licensed those episodes. They are currently not dubbing the series because it is not sold well enough yet, and that is why we are here to talk about the seasons, because we are trying to get people to buy it from Right Stuff or Amazon.com to try and bring back the series, put some money in the case-closed bank, so to speak. Maybe Funimation will look at that and purchase more seasons.
Yeah, especially Right Stuff. Right Stuff is such a great site where people can purchase from, and I think they actually have cheaper prices than Amazon right now. Everyone should definitely check out that site. They're really fast. They offer great packaging. I could say that from experience. Excellent packaging, like even better packaging than Amazon, I think. And cheap price and great packaging. I think people should definitely consider RightStuff.com.
I agree. I've actually ordered from both Right Stuff and Amazon before. Right Stuff actually double packages your stuff. I think Amazon only uses a box, some little wrappers. Actually, Right Stuff will wrap your DVD into a little custom box, then stick it in another with some plastic wrap. They'll even include a catalog of what they have. So they're definitely official. They are definitely safe and worth checking out. I'm going to promote them here as long as I do my show.
Yeah, I even think that Funimation had a partnership with them earlier. I think at a point that I don't know, I'm not exactly sure about this, but Funimation possibly owned a part of Right Stuff. I do think so. Funimation trusts them, Viz Media trusts them, Bandai trusts them. It's definitely a great site.
Yeah, I think actually Right Stuff, before it was Right Stuff, was actually the Z Store. I think everyone who watched Dragon Ball Z heard that in the early 2000s about the Z Store. Well, I think that's what RightStuff.com had turned into, if I'm not mistaken. I can't be 100% on that, but I'm almost positive.
Yeah.
But back then, people recognized it a lot more than I think they do now because of the name change, and that's a shame because it's such a great place to buy anime, and you can get it at a cheaper price usually than Amazon, unless Amazon's having a 50% off sale.
Yeah, and you can even get some rare items, like where some stores don't really have those items anymore. Right Stuff still probably has it, and still for that cheap price you would have gotten for when it first came out. So, great site.
Now, I want to talk about we've had several partners, including yourself, that have joined us. Some of them have their own podcast shows that support what we're doing. Some of them support us in different ways, support what we're doing directly. Can you talk about them a little bit?
Yes, I do think they're doing a very great job. I'm really happy that we have a lot of supporters and a lot of people who are willing to help bring back Case Closed. And I think if you continue to grow like this, I think we will eventually reach that point where Funimation will consider bringing their show back. And it's always great to have support, and we should be blessed to have their help in helping us bring back our favorite show.
Most definitely. I completely agree. Our top supporters, allkidsoutofthepool.com, your place to experience the classic Adult Swim, which includes Case Closed is included into that part of the classic Adult Swim, as well as Septile Leafblade with his follow-up podcast, which has been a big support. The new BEP podcast, which directly supports what we are saying and doing here in the Save Case Closed community. We also have our website that was established 2 months ago with the help of several people, and I want to thank everyone for that. We definitely feel like we have ways that we need to improve and keep growing as a community, but we want to, we don't want to move too fast and step out of our boundaries and step on too many people's toes while we're doing it, keep blaming, so to speak.
Yeah, I was very impressed with the website. I liked how when you right when you open it, the Case Closed music plays in the background. I thought that was a very cool idea, and I think we should expand more as well. I think people should have really great ideas on what they want to do. Maybe they want to, do something on iTunes. Maybe they want to make an app. Maybe, anything that could really help us. So I think we will continue to expand, and hopefully we'll reach our goal.
We're obviously, we are looking to expand. Our subscribers are growing. I want to thank every one of our subscribers. Also, Website Gamers, who shows our podcast on their channel. Thank you for the support. We really appreciate it here and all the people that watch from that channel. So thank you for that. And Full Metal X, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me. Hopefully I'll be able to join more of these podcasts. Really enjoy doing them.
We would love to have you. And whenever you do start doing unboxings for the movies, we definitely want to hear some inside info on that. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. And just want to let everyone know right now, Case Closed Season 2 can be purchased on rightstuff.com and amazon.com. It's cheaper on rightstuff.com right now. I believe it's $17.99. It's either $17.99 or $22.49 at rightstuff.com. On Amazon, I believe it's $21.29. Either way, both websites, that's what we're promoting to purchase the series. I want to thank everyone for joining us here on the Case Closed podcast, and we will see you in the next episode. Take care, everyone.